Back again. When the last time you diversified your black decks lately? Because generally we only like to play one black deck and say that's the best, that's it. But there's other decks out there that's just as strong. Or relative. Today we got BBD. This one was my second all-time favorite back around Surge format before they banned Reboot Gohan. Shout out to my Reboot Gohan players. He did nothing wrong and he could come back at full power. Bandai, do it. But he was a menace in his time. He or the playstyle that traditionally played with this deck kind of broke all the rules of resource conservation because you want to do as much as possible. This is kind of like the Dream Blue aspect. You tap out, play as much as possible, and do your thing and play your game. This kind of floated on that same principle for the most part, where you want to play out every card in your hand. And then at the end of the turn, you get it back. Just like the Broly. But when you're handless, you can awaken to the backside where you can pump yourself up, get rid of Winnies, and at the end of the turn, you draw back to 5. Which has synergy with other cards in the deck and the new TPs that we got. Let me just get a little bit closer so you can see and read the cards. Without further ado, let's get into the deck. 3 Boo. This is the main card of the deck. You want to see this as soon as possible, followed by this. You don't really need this as much, but I would say it's the second importance behind this. From this, you go into the 6 drop. If you are beyond, from this you have to go into the 4 drop. But if you 3 energy or more, it doesn't matter which way you go up the chain. When you handle this, you can go up the chain to the Boo, which is the dual attack. I still play the other ones. Most people might cut these for a mid-range game, but I still like them for those matchups. Having access to them when I really need to put pressure on my opponent and not let them breathe correctly. But other than that, this is like the main one you go into. You protect the Boo, you win the game. Just simple as that. This kind of puts a cap on your opponent gaining advantage. So you want to drop this as soon as possible. This is like the first Boo you want to play. Then you want to follow it up with maybe something like that. That's fine. Also, other ways to get into our 6 drop. I was playing Bobbity, and then I cut it. This is a 50 card deck. You can potentially draw 6 to 12 cards in one turn if you sequence it correctly. But this is another way we get into our 6 drop for 1 energy. Then that is the Boo concept of the deck. Now we get into our power cards. We main Black Mass Saiyan, especially those games we want to go first. Second favorite overwhelm in the game because it has multiple uses. I want to start doing a world tour on this. I remember when everybody was playing Vegeta, and I'm like, what about Dark Broly? He's generically better. Keyword, generically. But everybody was like, I'm just going to play Vegeta, even after the Beyond All Limits ban of that Goku, which made it relevant. But he's a standalone. Only downside is 0 combo power, but you don't care. You take in combo power from their hand or negate out their hand when you swing with it. And he's removed. Sorry for my soapbox. Majin Buu. Just other ways to cycle defensive cards for the game. This was at 4, but 2 is fine, and I'm going to keep this at a 50 card deck. This helps me put certain blue pieces into the drop, which is helpful. Or my Koitakais. You're running Bibbidi. 1 card, 15k is pretty good. And couldn't find the 4th one, so we just threw in a Vegeta for when the time comes. This is going to be like standard throw in for most black decks. Then we have 3 Dark Empires, 2 Power Bursts just to protect our 6-drop blue, 2 Super Kamis just for more protection, and just because I can and I'm like that. Malicious Mimicry, just a classic other play extension, and also it boosts up your Majin Buu by 15k, which is really good. I was playing Capricious, but I'm like, nah, that's too gimmicky. And I might cite it eventually, but for our side, barrier removal, against green and yellow and sometimes blue. Depending on how I hit or mill or burst or mill. Cause you play unisons and also it's extra boost up. More defense. Really good. Petries. Just standard. Case I face black decks. Case I face more aggro. Calling topos is my pastime. Z deck. This is like the main reason I cut the Barbies, just because of these. And this was usually my turn to play, but I can just do this and be safer because unless you counterplan, unless you preventing my setup from coming out, that barrier is going to carry me. Also, this lets me keep a hand due to the secondary effect. I like to go into these every other turn, depending on the setup and the matchup and how my drop is laid out. Then we got that just unremovable target. Boo, just cause it's blue, just had to. 2 Gohan, a Goku just to close out the game. Then we have a Vegito just to do some recycling. And a Chila if you want early setup. I was thinking about playing the counter play cards, but I said nah, you don't really need it, and you don't want to put extra stuff that just convolute the strategy. But that is my Buu deck. You can play it slow, you can play it fast, and turn your brain off and just be Cran Eater aggression, as they used to call this deck. This deck used to be for Cran Eaters, they used to say, but I still think it's good. It gives the new TP support. Definitely gives it a new dimension to play the deck, and one of the many, I wouldn't say rare or few, one of the many Bandai dubs was printing these 2 cards. But definitely give it a try. Try out my list. Let me know what you think. You can cut it to super hyper aggressiveness, but you would cut out all the defense. Just take out the gates and just turn 2, turn 3 kills. Still can do that. But this kind of gives you the flexibility to pivot for the situation. And Usually that's how I like my standard list. Or the first list. First list is an everybody list. Me, I'm a hyper aggro fiend, but this is this list is for the people. Hope you enjoy and catch you later.